Yes, go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for the privilege. So, still on the femininity, Esther's display of vulnerability in managing access. We'll see in chapter 8.
And that's the right word, vulnerability. That's what she did there. Yes, go ahead.
We'll see in chapter 8 how she still managed access with the king, despite that he had already told her that the killing is for other people, that she's not among those that will be killed. And he had already given her the golden scepter. But she still fell on his feet and begged him to do something, even after he has been doing other things for her. So it's easy for us to say, oh, I've gotten favor with the king. He has already assured me that I'm not among those who would be killed. And then just barge in at any time. But she still maintained the decorum. She still maintained it even after everything that the king had done for her.
You will go far, you. For your eyes to be able to see that. Revelation is always a sign of your next level. What keeps people away from the next level is something they failed to see. They might be hearing it, but it hasn't entered. At any time, if you see the kind of revelation you're getting, the kind of things God is telling you, it's a point of what is next for you. Doesn't matter where you are. And lives don't shift till understanding shifts. So even though we have all been blessed by it, but you will go far.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I would like to share a testimony from the last time you taught me you studied the book. I'll just give a little background. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. My family, my own family and my husband, because they are not in support to my marriage with my husband completely. So my elder brother in particular, on my wedding day, I know people that know me very well. He said he's a military personnel. He said he's going to kill me, kill my husband, shoot himself on my wedding day. So is that bad? They don't talk, they don't communicate, nothing. We have been married for more than 8 years. On his wedding, he's now getting married. So they now said that I must attend the wedding. I told them, please, you have to ask my husband for permission to release me to travel to Kaduna for that wedding. They said no, they will not do it. I called my brother's wife, the fiancée. I said, give me her number. They gave me. I called. I said, you need to come as a mediator. Even though my brother, because he's a military, he's stubborn, he will not do this. I need you to please ask for permission from my husband before I can travel. That one said, no, she will not. Anything her husband said is final. My mom now made the case worse. She now said, my daughter must be the little bride for the wedding. And if I don't come for the wedding, I should know that my relationship and my family is over. That means I support my husband and I reject my family. So it was war. For 2 months, I was doing mediator. It was just war. I gave up. When my husband traveled, I remember this book. I studied it again, and I took up 3 days. He was away for 4 days. So I took up 3 days water fast. Told myself I was not going to go out of the house. I was just going to be in the house and praying about the situation. And I will just share a little of the words I used. I said, Lord, I thank you because even though this wedding was a chaos, you allowed the marriage to happen because you are the one that told me. I knew the Lord told me that I should marry my husband. I said, I thank you for the victories I've won over the years. I thank you. Even when my family called me back that I must separate from my husband, we separated for 3 months, and I prayed to God. I said, God, I need my family back. I will not separate from my husband. I said, Lord, you gave me victories. I just started remembering all those times that the Lord helped me. I said, Lord, this is another situation. I know it might not be the end, but this is another one. If you don't help me, I am helpless. I need your wisdom to manage the situation. I don't want to be at a point where I will need to choose between my husband and my family. I said, Lord, I just need you. When my husband comes back from this trip, I need this issue to be over. Because that wedding was on Friday. On Friday. So it's this particular weekend that my husband was away. When he comes back, it's just going to be the last time. It's either he agrees and I have chose my husband, or he rejects and I have chose my family, or I'm just going, whichever way, there's going to be problem. Before he came back, I had to go to the salon, did my makeup, did everything, went to the airport to pick him, dressed very well, picked him up from the airport. Before he came back, I called my girl on the AC in my room, let the room be cool, cooked his favorite food, everything. And I didn't even, as I was just doing all those things, I still didn't know what to tell him, because before he traveled, he has already told me it is done. It's either they called me or you're not going. Final. His say was already final. So I didn't even know what to tell him. I just said, Holy Spirit, anything you tell me to say, anything you tell me to do, I'll do it. So I just kept on moving. When he finished eating, I told him, he slept. I woke him up. I said, sir, you are my husband. I will never choose the other family over you. You are the only family I have. This is now my family. Concerning this issue, anything you say is final. If you say I should go, I would go. If you say you don't want me to go until they call you, final. Anything you say, bet. I'm not going to make you to choose. I didn't even know when I said all those things. I just left it there and slept off. When I woke up in the morning, my husband said, hey, where did you say you are going? He was the one that took me to the train station, bought the ticket, and that was not all. After the wedding, some months passed. For the first time in over 9 years of marriage, my elder brother came to my house. That was not all. He also called me and said, your husband is not in the family WhatsApp group. Add him to the WhatsApp group. When I put to bed, my mom came to my house for Omugo, and she told me something. She said, I am glad that I am alive to see that you were right and I was wrong. Thank you, and still believe in God. Thank you, sir.
Please, can you guys give this lady a standing ovation? Yeah, this is the whole study. This is the whole book. Somebody has lived it. This is the whole book. I salute you, ma. You know, before I say you will go far, you will go very far. You will go very far. You know what a lot of girls who have done? Who are you to tell me what to do with my life? Somebody that went to school. Eh? One of the secrets about the story of Esther is about two things: submission and mission. Yes. When God gives you a mission as a woman, you have to fulfill God's calling, but you need to be under authority. Then when God gives you a husband to submit to, don't abandon your mission as Esther. There is mission inside submission. The submission is sub-mission. You can still have an assignment, a career, a ministry, or whatever. But this is how to win the two worlds. Because some people will pursue their mission and lose their family and their marriage. Some other people will pursue their marriage and never amount to anything in life. No mission in life. So the book teaches us how to manage the two. The first queen pursued her own dream and lost her marriage. The second queen killed the two birds by learning the laws of influence. Okay, there's something I want to show you people now. So we can, this will be a complete message. One of the battles that the last days church will be fighting is with the spirit of what? Jezebel. That is what the first wife, Vashti, demonstrated. I don't have the time to go into details of that. But there is something I need to show you. I'm going to read them in the Bible. Read for me how to influence a man or influence authority without speaking. 1 Peter chapter 3, from verse 1 to 7. Let me see one or two people that can give me what he's saying there. Okay. Can somebody read? Please, please. Any of you can read.
Likewise, okay. Likewise, ye wives.
So, because sometimes you have, some of you, husbands that are not born again, boss that is not a believer, or whatever, father that is not a believer. As long as you're under any authority, how do you, without preaching, without a word, that's part of the lesson in this book. Yes?
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
Everybody write that word, submission. You can't influence an authority you do not respect or submit. Once you disrespect authority, you have lost the ability to influence it. Yes, go ahead.
That if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
Okay, he used the word conversation. What is conversation? Since he's teaching us how to win people or influence authority without speaking. So what is conversation? Conversation is behavior, conduct. Okay, when you finish. Yes, next verse.
While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear.
Remember, the conversation is conduct.
Yes, sir.
Your chaste conduct coupled with what?
Fear.
You see that fear is reverence. Yes?
Whose adorning.
Okay, before we tackle dressing, packaging, let's finish with these character qualities that enables you to influence. Okay, I need another translation, verse 1 and 2. Yes, go ahead.
In the same way, you wives must accept the authority of your husbands. Then, even if some refuse to obey the good news, your godly lives will speak to them without any words. They will be won over.
By what?
By observing your pure and reverent lives.
You see, that fear is reverence. Another translation. Verse 1, another translation. Yes?
In like manner, you married women, be submissive to your own husbands. Subordinate yourselves as being secondary to and dependent on them, and adapt yourselves to them, so that even if any do not obey the word of God, they may be won over not by discussion, but by godly lives of their wives.
Next verse.
When they observe the pure and modest way in which you conduct yourselves.
It's conduct. That's what it's been calling conversation in King James. Conduct. The way you conduct yourself, yes?
Together with your reverence for your husband, you are to feel for him all that reverence.
You see that word, fear, is reverence. Yes, go ahead.
Includes to respect, defer to, revere him, to honor, esteem, appreciate, prize, and in the human sense, to adore him. That is to admire, praise, be devoted to, deeply love, and enjoy your husband.
So this is the tool that Esther deployed. That's the tool you deployed. You see that time you said, if this, you are the final time, if you say I won't go, that's you deferred to him. And that's how you influence him to your side. And even if he said not to go and you didn't go for wedding, you don't make any fuss about it. you will see probably the next line of action, he will carry you in his car to go and pay that man and buy him a gift. He will show up somewhere. All of you women that are trying to raise Christian women must learn how to teach them this stuff. And be sure that your ministry is not propagating the Jezebelian movement. Then we come to a second tool that Esther used, packaging. And we're going to go to that now from verse 3. How a Christian woman uses her packaging, the way she dresses and her body to also communicate even without preaching. You cannot look like a harlot and you're trying to convert me. I look at you. You are like cake for eating. And you are telling me to give my life to Christ. I can tell you, drop that Bible you're talking. That's how when some of you go on evangelize, you're talking. The men are not, leave that thing. They will be busy, either touching your bum bum or touching. It's another woman, you can't touch her. You are the one sending the signal. Okay, read from verse 3. Now King James again. So after dealing with the character that for influence, he now talks about the packaging. Those are the two things Esther used. Yes, go ahead.
Whose adorning, let it not be the outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold, of putting on of apparel.
Yes, go ahead.
But let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God of great price.
Okay. Remember, the wearing of gold, the putting on of apparel. Is God saying women shouldn't wear clothes? Is he saying they shouldn't wear jewelry? No. There's what is called modesty. Even in use of makeup. There's what is called modesty, even in the use of fashion. That is the one that communicates something. If it's not combined with that character issue, it communicates. There's a power of influence it gives a woman. Now, there is a way people use packaging to communicate that you are a low character. Of course, sometimes that you are a harlot. All you have to offer is sex. I didn't see the king try to do anything with Esther, even though he was his wife. I didn't see any sex, anything, because that's not what she was communicating there. When you study Judith, you meet the same issue. There's a way to package, communicate beauty, elegance, yet with respect. So on one hand, we're not talking about being shabby and being careless about your personal grooming. That is completely, you destroyed your influence. A woman is like a magneto. You keep a metal here, iron here. You bring magneto. You see them start moving. That's a woman. If she doesn't have that power, she had ruined her femininity. And part of how to do it is by neutralizing. You dress anyhow, smell, and all kinds of things. And you know, some ladies know how to do this when they want to go out. Then they punish their husband at home. I remember a minister that had some problems, you know. He even had an affair. And when the thing came out, he said he will not stop. He said they should go and talk to this woman to take her bath. Now that's the only thing. He's not asking for it. Just take your bath before coming. Because that what she does, after cooking, she will come to the bedroom smelling onumu, smelling ogili, smelling the onions, smelling all that. And yes, another one that he said was very bad. I don't even know whether I should. He said tell her to brush her mouth. If a man ignores personal hygiene, it's bad enough. But for a woman, it is complete. For a man, it's terrible. For a woman, it's suicide. So, they are teaching us how to adorn the hidden man, the heart, with incorruptible ornament of a meek and a quiet spirit. You saw it in Esther. Which in the sight of God is of great price. But then, like I said, even though this is powerful, it also influences people. But when it comes to a human being, you must add packaging. If it's only God, once you have meek and quiet spirit, even if your hair is scattered, you can break through. Even if you don't use perfume, you might even still break through. That doesn't mean the spiritual world, God's word, accept dirtiness. It's a word of holiness. That's cleanliness. But then to influence man. So I'll give you a second scripture on this. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9. And I think here he's dealing with the packaging again. Yes? Read.
In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with
You
shamefacedness.
see that word modesty. Then he starts adding some things that should go with it. One of them is shameful. There are things you should wear. You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed to come out with it. A Christian woman should recover her. Even if you used to be a kuna, you used to be a harlot, you used to be everywhere. Now that you are born again, your sense of self-dignity needs to return. And sense of shame. That things. And it shocks me that some people actually wear this. Look at the mirror and say it's fine. Recover your sense of shame. Then the second one is sobriety. Become a sober woman. And ladies and gentlemen, you might think this only applies to women. The same thing applies to men when you have to influence authority. Go to see a governor, be shabbily dressed. Go to first thing Joseph did, the moment he said Pharaoh is looking, is to get up, shave his beard, dress up properly. Packaging matters. Dress the way you want to be addressed. I saw one of our pastors, I don't know, yellow, blue, whatever. He said he came to social. I said, go and change that nonsense before you come and bring me anything. See how you are looking. And to him, he can't see anything. You can't look at your seniors. Everything we're teaching here is flying over your head. One of our culture here is excellence. So, sobriety, soberness, and not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array. So it's not that people can't use jewelries or nice dresses. No. There is also a warning for women about being fashion driven. And it's a form of worldliness. Just like you can have men and power and money, there is also another vanity in women about fashion. And so they start importing the Babylonian culture into the kingdom. If your born again experience has not touched your fashion, you are not born again. What you want, I love you, Lord, I love your enemy, the world. Love for the world is enmity with God. Okay. Add verse 10. Let me see. So they should dress as women as he becoming. The word becoming means as his feet for women that profess godliness. Part of it is with good works. Okay, I need another translation. Verse 9 and 10. Please, read for me. Another translation. Yes.
And I want women to be modest in their appearance. They should wear decent and appropriate clothing
I hope you are seeing what it is. Decent and appropriate. Yes?
and not draw attention to themselves by the way they fix their hair or by wearing of gold or pearls or expensive clothes.
A person can wear jewelry, but you're not trying to draw. And then there are some clothes. You know that these people, children of darkness that are designing it, they're designing it to draw men's attention to your body, to the upper or lower. And then some of you that have sex luggages, cover it properly. Study how the Jewish women dress. Study how our cousin, the women dress. I'm not advocating the excesses like hijab and all that, but look at the decency. It is the Christians that will be everywhere they are going. Everything is shouting. You are the only one that has breasts. The only one that has bum bum. People cannot look, and you are not even ashamed. Carry like that and be moving up and down. Go and sit down at the back. And there are some when they finish wearing, you just see the person, you just know this is a stupid, foolish woman. Yeah, your tummy, you can't tuck it in. Now you are not able to exercise or fast. You already have design clothes now that hide it. You will still go and want to wear the one that a leprous person will be wearing. So now you are 4 months pregnant. It's showing as you are going. You just see a stupid way, stupid. If you have excess luggage behind, it means you should give gap when you are making your clothes. If you have excess in the front, give gap when you're making your clothes. If you have excess in the tummy, give gap when you are making your clothes. Even in traveling, is one of the things that spoil bags, whether it's traveling bag or any. Your sex luggage, then the zip will tear. So when what you are carrying is much bigger, use a bigger bag, and there will be peace. Appropriate clothing, decent. Not to draw attention to yourself by the way you package, but to communicate decency and beauty and elegance. To communicate modesty, that this is a responsible person. Walk into a room, everybody respects you. It becomes more critical if you're a person that is supposed to speak to people. You come on the pulpit to preach. You come out to do whatever, whether it's to sing and influence people for God. You are saying one thing, your whole packaging is contradicting it. Yeah, I think there's one more verse. Add it and read. Yes?
For women who claim to be devoted to God should make themselves attractive by the good things they do.
That's good works. You know, if you're talking about God, people will listen. There's another part. Let's bring it. Sure, I said submission has mission. Now, if you take care of submission, 1 Corinthians 11 mentioned that a woman who is praying or prophesying must have covering on her. Please, let's read it from verse 2 or 3. Yes?
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. Verse 4. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head. For that is even all the one as if she were shaven.
So if me, I cover my head, I'm dishonoring Christ. The head of the man is Christ. The head of the woman is the man. The head of the children is the parents. So If I cover my head, I'm bringing disgrace to Jesus. But if a woman uncovers her head, she is disgracing her husband. And the same thing with a married woman who dresses in all this whatever. You have no respect for your marriage. You have no respect for that man. You want to be in marriage and still be a single woman and be advertising to everybody. See cake, come and eat.